Oh my god, chat. Right before the stream, I ate some hot peppers. I've been doing this lately because it helps with my breathing problems. And I don't even know what happened because like these peppers I've eaten all the time throughout my life. This batch of peppers I've had like every day for the last like 3 days. But I just ate one and it was built different. Jesus Christ. It did its job. I can breathe. I'm just dying. But yeah, that was a pepper and a half. Anyway, time for Lostbelt 6. The habaneros, and I've had plenty of habaneros in my time, and like I said, I've had several habaneros of this batch, and you know, I'm pretty good with hot food. I eat hot food often, so I've got a good tolerance to it. But yeah, something about that one just a bit stronger than normal. Hey, Icy, how you doing? 14 months, by the way. Long time, 2 years. Imagine Icy watching this stream for 2 years, by the way. Do you feel stupid yet? Alright, well, later tonight, let's see, I guess in like 6 hours or something, I think the event is starting. Looking forward to that. Hopefully Bazette will be done well. Excuse me, that pepper below my nose here. Really got to me. But hey, I can breathe. Anyway, I'll probably stay up to see Bazette's stuff. But I don't think we're gonna stream that because it'll be way too late. Yeah, 2 years. This Herc account does have quite a bit of SQ. Yeah, we have to wait for the maintenance to end, so it's probably not for a good bit. Yeah, I'll probably do an animation video. I don't think I can get it out like super crazy, oh my god, fast, because it's gonna be so late, and I might not have the character and all kinds of stuff, but we'll get one out. Alright, we're on the boss. We wanted to try to solo that with Herc. We need to use our invincibility sooner. I actually want to say, back in the day, we soloed this with Beastly's Herc, but his Herc is stronger than mine because he had a high NP rank and all that, so I'm not sure ours can do it, but we'll certainly try here. I might have to make the video tomorrow, because it might just be too late. And by then, there's already going to be a million videos up, but I like to make my own just for, like, remembering the game by and all that. Let's see, I think we need Chin Gong. I might need to log on my main. Oh, lost. Oh, but I can summon mine and give myself FP. Oh yeah, didn't you bet like all of your channel points and lose? That is not Hercules. Alright, we gotta use invulnerability soon, but I still want to use it after the evade, I think. Alright, off we go. Surely the Herc account's not 2 years old. That's crazy. If it is, that's kind of wild because we certainly don't play it enough for that to show. Alright. That's kind of an interesting time to start though. Alright, bad opening hand, but oh well. Right, Percival has to get his NP. Thankfully that's a good opening hand for the NP game. Already got the chance to stun, so we need to get the debuff removal command code here. And we did not. Then the next hand, and we're never gonna get to the next hand. Feels bad. Do I go ahead and cast Guts? Let's see. We're gonna do evade first turn, vulnerability next turn, then there's this turn. So yeah, I think I do. We will whiff a lot of the butt strut stuff, but I think that's overall what we need to do. Alright, bad opening though. Didn't get much done, and didn't get rid of that debuff. I tell you though, 100%, when I stream Elden Ring, I'm gonna have some hot peppers on the side, because that's what I'm gonna do to make sure my breathing problems don't get out of control, because it really does help. I'm definitely gonna try that in future when I just wanna like keep streaming, but I'm having breathing issues. I find just Namanos and super spicy stuff generally does the trick, so. Hey, Lost. I got Sansoned today. I looked at it for quite a while because I thought it might have been a trick, but yeah, no, I got it. It's from Moobot and everything there. Got. It's the second time in like 5 years or whatever of streaming. It's happened twice now. Okay, we want to evade. I still can't get rid of the debuff because now I have defense down. You've got to get it on that turn. Like, it's so fucked up if you don't. Maybe we get lucky and we just don't get stunned, but does not seem likely. I wonder if I don't think I need to attack up there. You know, we got plenty of damage. Herc, smash! I would be very disappointed in Say if he did not screenshot that. Oh, we got stunned. I like how the first turn that I am finally capable of removing the debuff, I get stunned. So it's all for naught. Alright, I need to invincibility here. I kind of want to... Yeah, we'll do this one first to get rid of the defense buff. Okay. No point in NPing because I'm pretty sure we can break without 30% crit. I think we still put it in the front because of the no faux pas, and 70% of the time it's not going to crit. Okay, there's Spears of Vulnerability. And there goes our Guts. This is better than last time, but I'm not convinced it's good enough, but we'll find out. Okay, NP, faux pas. I would say we're bullying. This is gonna be pretty close. We lost yesterday, but we're playing better this time with the using the evade and invulnerability sooner so that they're not around for the Pierce invulnerability phase, and then I've got more Guts left over, because last time we hadn't used them yet, and we had lost Guts a bit, and then I couldn't use them because they Pierce invulnerability, so we were in bad shape. Ooh, like that crit. Although we did do like 45 overkill there, but 45k overkill, but I think we probably still needed it. Okay, he has a whole lot of Guts here. I need to get my NP again, but I also need to get him down to minimum health as fast as possible. Unless the crit chance is 50% or greater, I'm pretty much always gonna go with the faux pause over the crit. That was so lucky. Herc, my guy. That's like cheating. I think we're gonna win now, chat. I don't know what would give me that idea, although actually it is pretty close. Because this might be our last guts. No, we have 2 guts. If it was 1, it would be a problem. Because it's 2, we're fine. And this goes away in 2 turns. Oh, how perfect is that? So even if we didn't crit there, I think we would be fine. Because we have 2 guts. He has 2 more turns of Pierce Invulnerability. Once the guts is gone, the Pierce Invulnerability is gone, and then I can cast the evade again. So, yeah, we actually win with quite a bit of oomph here. Gotta use that debuff removal though to get rid of the stun. That's the way to lose. Trying to get my MP because if I get it, we'll win faster. But looking like we're not gonna get it in time for it to matter. Oh, never mind. We actually win this turn because we can triple kill here. And look at that. Yeah, see, we got 1 more guts. And he's only got 1 more turn of Pierce Invulnerability, then we got evade. Feels good, man. Alright, I'm glad though. This wasn't even too. I don't think the luck mattered. I think we would have won regardless. It was really just using the evade and invulnerability earlier. I think we will reset the app though because I want to fight him now in a normal team and see how this account fares. Because this is a cool fight. We will go super bonk, bonk, and bonk. Slow-mo, so I got more time to reset the app here. Look at this. He could have another life and we would still kill it. I actually think they might buff Herc's MP someday. That doesn't seem off the table to me. Okay, boss dead. Let me reset, and now we'll do it in a normal team. That was pretty satisfying. Alright. Buster resistance per NP. He doesn't NP that often though, so that actually wouldn't be too strong, but when you combine that with his attack up and his 80 buster ups, it's just like one more thing to make him super strong. Yeah, I could see them buffing Herc's NP down the road. Alright, what's a rider we can summon that's not gonna carry, but it's also not useless? Obviously Ushi, but I used her in the video back in the day, so I kind of want to use something else. Let me log on my main account real quick. Yeah, we could do Medusa, because she's AoE. Could do Ricky just to see how he compares to Ushi. I would think he does fine. Yeah, you know what? We'll use Ricky. I don't think we actually use him that often, even though he's pretty good. Yeah, let me log on my main here. Oh man, I'm whiffing AP on my main account right now. Imagine that, chat. All right. I think which support page I'll use. I guess this one. Alright, Ricky. Good old Golden Sumo. Although he does pretty well if you give him an art up. Starting in PCE, because he's pretty decent at looping. A little bit extra NP gain is nice. But we'll go with the old reliable. Yeah, AP and efficiency. I haven't been whipping it all day. I did do like a Ember stage earlier today. And that was it. Making sure I got enough Embers in case I do get the Zet. So I still haven't decided how I'm going to go about rolling between all my different accounts. Yeah, Achilles would be really good because he's got the survivability. Like, the survivability is extremely good here. It's kind of interesting because it wasn't that good against Demeter on the Sinnoh account, but for this boss, it'd be really good. Oh, we have our own Ricky. Maybe we do double Ricky. He's even 10-1-10. How about that? What CEs do we got for him? Not a lot, but that's okay. Let's see. I kind of want buff removal. Do I have Alex? No, I have Martha. Oh boy. Is that timing going to be right though? I think it's after you break the first 2 bars. Yeah, it's the second bar after you break the second bar. Well, I could probably time that. If each Ricky breaks a bar, it'll work out, though that might be optimistic of me. Not like Martha's gonna fall over dead immediately, and I don't need her NP, so I don't need to give her starting NP. I can give her Sunlight one then. Although if I want to remove the guts, maybe I should have her later, but hopefully we can just keep her alive. Now, Ushi would be a really logical cleanup, but I kind of want to go with supports and just see what happens. I don't have Mozart! God, why did I make 2? All my accounts before, the Sinnoh account and the Herc account, I've always... Oh, I do have Mozart, never mind. I guess it's... Wait, then what's the other one? Because I know the... oh, that's what it is. It's the Sinnoh account and the co-op account, because the co-op account can't have it. That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, well, Mozart helps me out quite a bit here. Feels good. Good cleanup unit here. Anyway, but yeah, I knew I had 2 accounts in a row that didn't have them because I'm a fucking idiot. And all my other accounts have had them. But yeah, it's the Sinnoh account. And the co-op one. And the Sinnoh one was because I wanted to just mix it up and do something different. And the co-op one is because we have to. Does his... Have I done his buff? Oh, fuck, I haven't done his buff. Well, it's not like we'd... Wait a minute, it's not just the crit down, you get the art resist down. Well, whatever, just old school style. Atlas probably the way to go here. Alright, go get him. You almost got tagged for having bad music taste. You know, Mozart's music is quite good. No joke. Well, not exactly the best opening hand for Percival getting his NP. Let me think. I don't think he hits too hard on his first health bar. Maybe I don't need to taunt yet. I don't see much reason not to taunt though. If Percival can face tank 1 turn, I should wait to do the invincibility. But what if he can't face tank 1 turn? Let's just be safe. The problem is, because Percival didn't get a single card, I'm not sure he's going to actually get his NP in time. He gets 20% from his first skill. Let's see. Yeah, you gotta break all of his bars, and then he has got a really big guts at the end where he gets 3 stacks of guts, but it is removable. Okay, that's the problem. We, see now he's got the attack up, so I'd be better off face tanking on the prior turn. That's probably GG, actually. Like, no joke, that's probably GG. I could give him the invulnerability from the Mystic Code. I guess I have to. Might as well try. We might lose because of that. Like, losing that invulnerability is obviously bad. Okay, now I'm just gonna reset. There's so many little things that are wrong here. It's not just that mistake. It's, I need to, like, bring command codes and stuff. Like, I'm just seeing, like, a million things wrong there. Like, I might as well use this one. That's actually really good here, because he's got attack up and defense up. That's really good value. Got 18 of those. That's reasonable. Wait, yeah, I guess we do another Let's see, do I have the attack removal one? I do. We'll do that then. I guess I'll give him the other defense removal one too, just to be extra safe. Don't think he does that much defense up in this fight, but I don't have a lot of good command codes anyway. And then debuff clear is always good. This account is a hell of a lot better off than the Steno account is, though. It's quite noticeable. I'm gonna give my Ricky on the other account like a command code or two. I'm not gonna give him a bunch because lazy, but give him a little bit of help here. I like the debuff clear. I can find it. I have so many command codes on my main. There it is. Okay, good enough. Yeah, I tell you, FGO is just so bad about it's ludicrous. It's because all the team management stuff, you can't listen to me. You can't do it from the team screen. If you need to level a unit's skills, NP rank, craft essence, change command codes, like do anything management related, you can't do it from the team screen, which is crazy because like every other game you can. And they even allow you, as I always say, like you can click a servant and go to this screen and you can see all those things, you just can't adjust any of them, which I don't know why, but you know, it is what it is. So if they would ever fix that, it'd make the game a lot smoother. Because not only do you have to back out and then go back in and all that nonsense and switch a million menus, but FGO also makes it really hard to back out and go back in. You have to, you know, watch the story again, you have to go through a confirmation message and all this other stuff. So it's just a lot, and there's loading screens and stuff. Okay, now that Percival got cards though, he can probably get his NP right now. Question is, how much NP gain can I get on Ricky? Do it like that. Put him in third. Don't need to quick. Being a wee bit greedy there, but I think it's okay. Because he's almost got enough from just that. With his first kill. Oh my god. Oh wait, no, it's fine, it's fine. We got the first kill. For some reason I thought I already used it, and I was like, what? Alright, we're good. I wish one of the Rickies had gotten the attack removal. Yu-Gi-Oh has problems with just playing the damn game because the rules are so convoluted and you can activate like a spell or trap card at any moment and all that stuff. It's Yu-Gi-Oh is so bad for a digital format. Well, there's not a whole lot they can do about it. There's like minor things they can do to make it less of an issue, but do I NP 87k? If I had a Brave Chain, I would say no. Like if I had a Brave Chain without using the NP. So I guess what we do... Man, I wish the middle Ricky had it, because he has a lot of NP refund available. Think. I guess we just do it because, like, time is important, like going quickly. Do I want to do the attack removal? You know what? Yes. It might make the difference of a rider getting one shot or not. Especially if you have matches buffed later. If I played that better, I could have gotten 3 turns out of Percival, I think. With a bit of luck. Not gonna lie, I'm tempted to do the buff removal right now just to get rid of all those crit buffs, because that's why he's doing so much damage. But I should at least wait for the Pierce Invulnerability. I'm gonna cast that just for the defense up. Could do Martha's second skill to remove the defense down, because healing is gonna be kind of irrelevant with the way this fight is. But we could also get the other debuff again. I can remove his defense buff by doing the art card first. Yeah, I am going to get rid of that defense down. It could make the difference, so. What's going to get us killed is the double crit damage buff, I think. Damn, didn't quite break. That's not good. Oh, we didn't get one shot. Almost got his NP again. I really wish we had broken there though, because then Martha could just remove the buffs and that gets rid of the crit buff and so on and so forth. Got an attack buff again. I'm pretty rough right now. That is so unlucky. It landed on both of them and it doesn't even have that high of a proc chance. Damn. Well, Ricky didn't get any cards, so he could actually NP though with mashes and vulnerability. But I don't think it's worth doing the debuff clear right now. If he doesn't have any normal cards. We're stalling now. I don't know about that, but he's got defense buff removal on his NP, but it's after damage. Man, Ricky just can't get a break. Every art card's in the third hand, so he's got to wait a really long time to NP, even though everyone else has all these art cards. That sucks. Well, the good news is you're going to get Ricky no matter what because he is an FP summon, and you can get him anytime you roll, like on a banner and things like that. Man, it feels Deer Mid. Man, Deer Mid's got the after damage thing too. Thankfully for him though, he does pretty solid NP damage and whatnot, so it's more like a bonus. You mostly will use Deer Mid's buff removal to get rid of offensive stuff more so than trying to get rid of invulnerability or anything like that. Might actually have Martha gun for with Atlas to remove his guts again. We're definitely going slower than I meant to. But it's because Ricky, like, ideally Ricky could have already gotten his NP and then NP'd there, and then we're already working on the next NP and things like that, but it just didn't work out. He might actually NP here, because his bar goes down to 2. I'm not sure. Well, time to find out. Boy, Ricky's horse can move when it's in speed mode. That's a gallop. Oh, I see, it lowers the thing, though. They don't always do that. There's some other fights where it doesn't work that way at all. Okay, Martha gonna get some nice value here. Remove all the debuffs. Remove his giant guts. Yeah, that was like 3 stacks of guts all gone. Feels good. I guess I protect Ricky here. Martha doing work. Okay, the 2 big gimmicks here is the Pierce and Vulnerability that lasts a really long time, and then the Guts. And she got rid of both. I guess the other big shtick here is just how hard he can hit, but we've done a pretty good job of keeping his offensive buffs off. Because if you're not removing some of those offensive buffs, it's pretty easy for him to one-shot somebody. Can I do the Buster card, or should I just Art Chain? I should just Art Chain. I actually wish he had crit Ricky so we could do his second skill with a stylish finish. But not gonna happen. Remove his buffs here just cause. Remove our debuff. Well, Ricky did pretty good, I would say. Some of the issues there were just the deck not shuffling well. Like, that setup could have done a lot better. But I don't think that was really the setup's fault. It was kind of just bad RNG. But Martha was huge. Martha was super strong there. Let the good, socially awkward guy live. I mean, he lived. Yeah, we didn't do Medusa. If the stage didn't cost so much AP, I would have done it with a few more setups. But it costs too much AP, and this account is not like one of my accounts with 1,000 apples. It's only got like 200 or whatever. Well, I think Gareth's time has come. That boss is fun though. And it's literally the first boss in Lostbelt 6. That's like good. I guess that other fight with Burgess wasn't too bad. Yeah, it takes a while, and that was after the time gate, like the first one. I think pretty soon you start doing some of the filler side stuff like the forest and all that nonsense. Then you wake up Mash, then you go to Avalon. I wonder what DPS we'll use for Morgan. You can beat Morgan with almost any DPS if you just use Mash in the story support test or Artoria. It's more about knowing how to fight the boss at all and like remembering the gimmicks and stuff. I'll probably fuck it up though the first couple times. Wow, are we already? Wait. I don't think, yeah, no, you don't fight the, like, chieftain spirit thing or whatever that's using Lobo as the character model. I don't think it's until later, so this might be like a blob fight. You know, that's a berserker right there. Actually, we can probably make this setup work. I'll use this thing just for the battery. I don't think you can use a support, so no Mordred, unfortunately. This account could probably do a Mordred setup, though. It's actually not, you don't need much. Like Qin Gong and that kind of stuff is really all you need. Because the, you know, Mash and Castor Toria are good enough. But yeah, I don't think we have a way to use Mordred in that fight off memory. Morgan and Fluffy, I don't think you get supports. I like how Arash got all the NP gain when he doesn't need it. And then Tristan got a bunch of NP gain when he doesn't need it either. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this account does have Mordred. I think that was the spook that happened. But, not leveled. Man, I tell you, that pepper that I was talking about earlier, it's still affecting me, which is a good thing, I suppose, but that one was just way hotter than normal. I also had mixed it with some crushed red pepper, and that makes it a little bit hotter, but still, that was just... Like, I've had plenty of peppers from that batch, and they did not affect me too much, but that one just built different, man. Extra oomph. Yeah, I kind of have done, like, pepper cocktails because... I'm doing it to get a reaction, you know, a chemical reaction that gets your, you know, your sinuses to get cleared out. So it's not really about taste or any of that. So I kind of just get a bunch of nonsense together. So I had like a habanero and crushed red pepper, and sometimes I'll put a little hot sauce on it too. But a big part of what actually can affect how spicy something is not just which like pepper it is, it's how it's grown. Like I remember my father would grow his own peppers, and holy crap, that stuff was hot. I don't know what he did, but yeah, he would grow them and we'd eat them fresh and put them on pizza fresh and stuff like that, and they were just so much hotter than what you could get a hold of normally. Like ridiculous. I know he put like effort into making them hotter. And also they're just super fresh and all that. And I suspect that a lot of stores, if they sell peppers, will actually do things to make them less hot, especially in America, because Americans are fucking pussies when it comes to spicy food. So they're always like watering stuff down. So maybe it was just the absence of watering it down and it being fresh, but my god. I find if you want to get good spicy stuff, like going to like a Korean store around where I live works. Like if you go to like, you know, Kroger, right, like a mainstream, you know, grocery store, you're not going to get particularly hot peppers, or they don't even sell particularly hot sauce. But if you go to like a Korean store, normally you can find some pretty good stuff. I love spicy. Now, I don't like all spicy things. Some spicy food just doesn't taste good. I mean, it just doesn't. And I don't like hot things for the sake of it being hot. It's got to have good flavor. And actually, I think a lot of people that say they don't like spicy food, a lot of times it can be because, first off, you haven't built up a tolerance to it. So, you know, it burns more. But then because you don't have a good tolerance to it, you don't try a lot of different spicy food, so you don't find the flavors that you like. Because there are massive differences in like spicy food when it comes to different types of flavors and stuff. So like I don't like all spicy food, and most people don't. Most people are gonna have some spicy food they just don't think tastes good. But yeah, you do have to build a tolerance to it. A lot of people have this idea that you're just born with it. Not at all. Like it is very much something you have to build a tolerance to. So you start, and there's a lot of spicy stuff that is really not hot at all, right? And so you can start slow and build it up. You don't have to start off with an inferno in your mouth, right? You don't have to do that. You know, you can pick. There's plenty of spicy sauces and stuff out there that are extremely mild. And while you get those, you can actually find the flavors and stuff you start to like, and then you can kind of just build it up from there. So. Yeah, there are some spicy foods out there that I don't think taste good at all. I haven't had spicy Cheetos in forever, to be honest. I don't buy a lot of snack food like that. I don't even know why, but I just don't. But off memory, I think they're decent. I don't think they'd be like my go-to choice for a snack, but I don't think they're bad. But it's been so long. I'm not really trusting my own memory here. Alright, well, I guess I just have to like pass a turn here, which means we're gonna get dotted out to hell, but Percival can remove it. He's a balanced unit like that. I don't mind buffalo sauce, it depends. I've had a few types of buffalo sauce I don't really like. And it also depends on what it's on. I don't think it tastes like gasoline. I mean, not that I've ever had gasoline, but it can be pretty flavorful. But I've had some styles of buffalo sauce I do not like. But I generally like it. It's not, again, not my favorite, but it's alright. Wow, Tristan got blasted there. Probably should have cast that last turn just for the battery. Alright, Spartacus. Can you do 45k? I'm kind of concerned. I think you can do the 29 and probably the 40, but I don't know about the 45. There is a lot of spicy food, though, that is tomatoey and peppery. Like, that's absolutely a thing. Well, 770, and we didn't even kill the other one. That is unfortunate. And we can't even get Nobu NP gain out of it. So that did not really work out. Love the smell of gas. Well, it's actually bad to smell it because, I'm not even kidding, smelling gasoline can kill brain cells. I am not kidding. So it's good to try to avoid breathing it when you can. But I don't know if I've ever heard of someone that likes the smell of it anyway. But yeah, it's good to avoid it. Even if you do like it, it's best to avoid it. You have to breathe quite a bit of it, though, to damage your brain cells generally, but yeah, it is definitely recommended to not smell gasoline. Got 14 stars. Let's see if we get lucky here. Yeah, gasoline is bad for you on many levels. So do be careful. You have no buffs for me to remove. This is a sad state of affairs. I wish I'd gotten Nobu's NP, but that's not gonna happen. Keep Nobu alive here. So she's gonna die to the dot. So then guts will go off. This is not going well. My sense of smell is really bad too, and I suspect it's because of the whole breathing issues I have. I imagine that translates to me having a really weak sense of smell. So maybe if I get that surgery down the road, I'll be able to smell like a normal person. Yeah, Arash is actually the only one that died. It just took a really long time to get through that. Question mark. I hate when they do this. There's no point. Let's see if I can get a idea of what it is from the story bit here. But some of these story bits are so long. I know you have like a friendly fight with Burgess at some point. It's like indoors. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say their sense of smell has gotten messed up from COVID. What I've seen is for a lot of people, it doesn't last forever. Like their loss of sense of smell doesn't last forever. Some people, a lot of people, it comes back after a long time. But for some people, it doesn't, so it sucks. I wonder if we're just fighting her again. I don't think so. I hate when you have choices like every 2 fucking seconds, because first off, it's none of it is a fucking choice. And then it just means you can't skip through the story quickly. I got so fucking bored of that, I have no idea what, I guess it is we're fighting her again, huh. I thought you didn't fight her again until later, like on the plains, where it's like the final fight with her, which I really wish they had made harder. Like, it doesn't have to be super, oh my god, crazy pants hard, but like, they could have made it something. Because the final fight with Sith is just such a nothing burger. Sith looks so weird in that getup. Alright, she's got an attack up. I wonder if we're 10-10-10 yet. Let's find out. We are. How about that? I think I'm gonna not NP though. I'm gonna go for 200%. I'm pretty sure she debuffs you here and I want to remove it, so it makes sense to go for 200. Hell, I might go for 300. Nah, I should probably... Well, actually, I could get 300. I do art. I don't think I need to, though. It's probably better to start working towards the next one. Hey, was it Discorded David? Thank you for the Twitch Prime. David part's easy. I've noticed F-Go just has this thing for like stilts, and I don't really give it. Okay, I can NP again. Don't think we go for 200 on this one, we just want to Get rid of the dots as much as possible. Yeah, if you have every other meta support, if you don't want to roll for Castoria, you don't need her. She's great and everything, like she's super strong, but she's not necessary for literally anything ever. And people act like, oh my god, you just can't farm if you don't have an art team. That's stupid. I mean, that's just dumb. Like, it's not hard to 3-turn with Scatty setups. It's not hard to 3-turn with waiver setups, for God's sakes. Like, I fucking 3-turn with like Arthur, Mordred, and then literally whatever the fuck all the time, right? Like, there's just so many ways to 3-turn in this game. Like, it is not a big deal if you don't want to get Castoria. Now, she's good, of course, like, and if you don't have any meta supports, it's pretty logical to go for a meta support, and she's a good one, so... But yeah, it's not necessary. How about that, invulnerability for 1 turn and then evade for 1 hit, so I can't do much here. I find a lot of ways to 3-turn, like the hardest challenge quest that they've ever made, or free quest, excuse me, challenge quest is completely different. But yeah, for farming, the hardest farming stages they've ever made, I normally can 3-turn them without even using a meta support. And like, just not even bringing a support. A lot of times just like using 3 smart DPS, a lot of times can work. Especially once an account is pretty mature and you've got like a lot of craft essences and stuff. We are starting to take some damage here. I think I might have gone a little too slow. And I haven't used my Mystic Coat at all. Probably should have gone for 200% more and used Atlas. An NP again here though. Maybe 200% depending on how this turn goes. That cheating son of a bitch. Kinda bad too. Yeah, I've really messed up here. I should use Atlas a long time ago. I don't think I can. I think because I've waited so long, I kind of have to wait here. Go for 200% or 300%. Yeah, I should have done Atlas like forever ago. Well, I can get 300% though. Actually, we get it without even trying. Because this game. That's good. We're probably going to be able to run it back thanks to that. Because we'll get the 3-hit invulnerability. We got our invulnerability from our 3rd skill. Hell, the fight's probably going to end and I'm just never going to need the cooldown reduction. Unless you've got to kill the ad. If you have to kill the ad, then we're going to need our stuff. The thing is, you can support Zenobia or really any art DPS just because, like the guy earlier was saying, it has every meta support in the game except for Castoria. You can easily support Zenobia with just Waver and Mozart or Hohenheim and that kind of thing. Now, if you're wanting to just do like, hey, I want to from time to time, I want to do like the most disgusting Zenobia setup possible, then of course you're going to want to have Castoria available because she is the best art support. Is it worth using my 3rd skill? Or 1st skill, actually, to try to get 200% before the NP? I think I'm just going to do it for the attack up, really. Definitely can get over the 200% if I want to, though. Nah. Only one hit invulnerability then, though. Maybe I do my art up just for the art up. And then you don't care about the... It's so dumb, though. The game will take the silver invulnerability before the gold one. It's really stupid. Even though the silver one lingers, so it should take the gold one instead. The game will always prioritize the gold or the silver one. It's like the opposite. Like with evade invulnerability, the game's actually smart about it. But with invulnerability and super invulnerability, the game's really stupid about it. Yeah, that was worth it because better uptime on anti-debuff. I could technically target switch here, but let's just play it safe. The thing is, it only needs to use the silver one if the enemy specifically has pierce invulnerability. So it's not the same as like evade and invulnerability. Like it's not at all. It really doesn't make any sense. Because if the enemy has pierce invulnerability and the game is trying to use the gold evade first, it'll just fail and then it'll go to the silver one. So they really should have made it like just, it wouldn't even be hard to code that really. But they're kind of just using like the default, what the game normally does anyway, and they didn't change anything. Yeah, I definitely messed up with Atlas, because we're not actually at 2-turn cooldown yet, so there's no point in using it. And I haven't needed my second skill this entire time. Could go damaging and do the Buster and just try to win, but I'll probably do Arcane one more time. Oh, we got Art up, and then after this turn it's see red, press red, assuming we don't die. I could have killed it that turn for sure. Okay, we killed it that turn anyway. We have so many attack buffs. I got kind of close there though. You can really see what I was saying though. Like Atlas was horrible because I never used. The only time it would have been good is if I used it like immediately. Because I ultimately got nothing out of it. I never cast the third skill because there was never a time that I could cast the third skill that would have had any impact on anything. So in that case, I should have just brought default because I could have healed myself like twice. At that point, and then I'd have 6,000 more life. And the attack up probably would have meant I won a turn faster. So yeah, default definitely would have been better there. It's a big nerd right there. It actually would be nice if Pierce Invulnerability didn't work on Evade. It's too late now, though. The game's just not balanced around that, so they couldn't do it that way. But if they had done it that way initially, it'd have been fine. And it makes sense, because if something's like bunker busting, but you get out of the way, it won't kill you, right? And vice versa. It's like if something can track you down to the ends of the earth and you can't evade it, but you can block it, you're fine, right? So it would make more sense if interacted in a more interesting way like that, but sadly, Pierce Invulnerability is just better than Sure Hit, and Invulnerability is just better than Evade. But yeah, I do kind of suspect it wasn't intended, and now they're just rolling with it. I do kind of think that's the case. That's definitely the case with some of the weird taunt, like guts bullshit with this game, and like the way turns get canceled, especially because they ended up changing the whole inconsistency with taunts dying, canceling the enemy turn and all that. So I think a lot of that stuff was just weird spaghetti code and they just rolled with it. And another thing they're just rolling with, and this is a problem, and I'm sure they're aware, but they don't fix it because it would make like a lot of setups suddenly change. The game gives you the benefit of overkill when you don't get overkill. When you just do, you don't even have to kill them. Like the whole turn, right? The whole turn you could completely fail to kill them, and you'll still benefit from overkill and it's by if you hit them and you do like go past half of the health that you had at the time, you'll get the overkill bonus. The game won't show it, like on the UI, and they're not dead, so you're certainly not overkilling them. But yeah, if you do over half the health that they currently had, like when you actually did the hit count, you'll get the overkill bonus, just cause. And it's absolutely a bug, and I'm sure they could fix it, but they don't because it would just fuck with a lot of like Artcaster Oratoria and scatty, loopy refund bullshit stuff. Because you're more likely to get a little extra refund sooner because of that bug. It's so bizarre. I really wish they'd fix all that kind of stuff, though. I don't like when games are just lying to you. Like how the game's UI shows that you get the chain bonus affects the NP when it doesn't, and it shows that the NP gains the first card bonus, but it doesn't. Right, like all that kind of stuff is just, oh, it even shows, the UI literally shows that it gains the card placement bonus for like being in second or third place. It shows that too, but it doesn't. So yeah, that kind of stuff just needs to be fixed. I don't think there's any excuse for that. I don't think anyone could, there's a lot of copium out there for defending FGO, but I don't think anybody can defend the fact that this game is going on 7 years old now, and the UI is just, it shows, you know, like, I'll show what I'm talking about real quick. Like, there is no excuse for this, right? This shit is crazy. Oh my god, why do you do this game? Okay, at least we can move stuff around. Fighting the blob monsters here, I think. This is so annoying. Like, none of this stuff is good for this stage. And now I can't do, like, I was gonna do, like, Orage cycling and then have some cleanup in the back, but now I don't have enough units to really do that. I could probably still get away with that. I'll do it like that. What a mess. Definitely want to bring Atlas because of the dots. I need to give Hercules his command codes back. Yeah, it'd be nice if they did that as a Percival skin. I know why they don't, just because it's, you know, other Percival from Lostbelt and it's different powers and stuff, but it's a pretty minor, unegregious thing to have just cosmetic changes like that, so. Okay, here we go. But yeah, you can see right here, when you click a quick card, getting the first card quick bonus, look at Arash's art card, right? It's glowing green, and it's glowing green because it gets Stargin up because of the first card bonus from the quick card. And it shows it on the NP too, but it absolutely does not benefit from it. And look at, this one blows my mind. This one blows my mind. See this text that appears under the NP? That appears under normal cards too. That's showing that like this art card will get more NP gain because it's in the second place slot. It's getting up, and when you do another card, it'll show 2 pluses, which indicates that it's getting even more NP gain because it's in the third slot. Weirdly enough, it actually only shows the one effect. Like for Buster, it shows damage. For Quick, it shows Stargin up. But it actually does everything. Being in second place makes everything better. Now, this is what's bullshit. And I don't think the most copium of copium defenders of FGO, I do not think would argue that it makes any sense. 7 years in, and this has never changed. This whole UI bullshit that I'm showing, you know, with it showing the NP stuff, like with the damage plus for being in second place, and the quick border and all that, that's been in since day one. That was been there since the launch of the game. And the NPs have never been affected by any of that stuff. They don't do more damage because it's in second place. They don't make more stars because they have the first card quick bonus and all that. None of that happens, right? But the UI tells you, I mean, it literally tells you, like right here in text under the card, it tells you it does more damage in second place. The game literally tells you, but it doesn't do that, right? It's a lie. And, you know, day one, it's pretty stupid for the game to lie to you like that. But 7 years in? How have they not changed this? Right? Like, there is no defending that. You know, 1 year in is bad enough, right? That's already like, wow, it took you a year to, you know, just fix your basic UI like that. Nope, 7 years, the game is still lying to you. And I see people like on YouTube videos that'll say like, how come people aren't putting the NPs in second and third place for more damage? And a lot of people like laugh at them because they don't know that it doesn't benefit. But of course they don't know. The game tells you that it benefits from being in second place or in third place. Like, the game literally tells you that it benefits from it. So, of course people, you know, or have the wrong impression and think it is stronger in second and third place. Like, it's just crazy, dude. And not only does it lie to you about NPs, it lies to you about all, you know, even more mundane stuff. The normal cards are wrong too, because this shows that this art card only benefits NP gain for being in second place, but it doesn't. It benefits damage and star gen as well for being in second place. Now, because of the way art cards work, obviously the star gen is pretty irrelevant, but and you know, the art cards here show that, you know, it only gets, or the quick card, excuse me, it shows it just gets star gen up, but yeah, that's not accurate. I don't know why it takes you over 7 years to just get like that right, like just that, like that's so little. I swear they've like forgotten about it because they don't play their own game. I'm sure some of them do, but I don't think the head devs do. I think that's the problem. All right, Stella time. I want to get Spartacus NP gain, but there's not a lot of that to be had. Do that. But no joke, with the company shifting around, you know, their lead creative dev quit, and you know, things are changing hands and all that. Maybe these things will get fixed. I really do hope so, because kind of embarrassing, to be honest. Oh wow, I didn't think it was that stage. I thought that was a little bit later. I guess Spartacus, Chopper, Atlas is not gonna do a damn thing here, but oh well. We don't have much single target here, so this is gonna take a while. I don't know why people keep acting like it's one or the other. Like this all people talk about with the DW getting bought by Aniplex. People act like, oh, it's the same dev or not. It's like, it doesn't work that way. It's like Aniplex is not. Everyone keeps saying, oh, but the devs aren't changing. First of all, you don't know that because they're not going to tell you if they are. And we already know the lead creative dev quit, so we already have replacements. And then when people need to be replaced, now it's Aniplex deciding who's the new hire instead of DW doing it, right? So it obviously is going to affect the company in a very significant way moving forward. And when like more regular staff no one thinks matters. Like on Dark Souls, everyone gives every bit of credit to Miyazaki, right? For From Software games, everyone gives every bit of credit to Miyazaki. And Miyazaki is obviously very important, but the normal employees have a huge impact on how these games are shaped. And when those people fire and get hired and all that kind of stuff, you don't hear about any of it. You don't know. So we don't even know how much of the staff is changing, but people keep like, oh, you know, Chusan's still the head dev and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter, right? Aniplex is the boss now. You know, his boss is Aniplex now. That obviously is going to affect the game, and it seems to already have done that. You know, they've already seemed to have shifted gears a bit with some of these updates. But like literally every single fucking time this topic gets brought up on Reddit, Discord, anything, people are always like, oh, it doesn't matter, all the devs are the same, which is a lie. They're already not the same. And even if they were, you know, when the leadership changes like that, it absolutely matters. Like I remember like fucking 20 years ago, I'm exaggerating, I think it was like 15 years ago or whatever, but when Activision bought Blizzard, it was the exact same thing. It was the exact same thing. Everyone's like, oh, it doesn't matter. All the you know, key devs are staying the same. You know, it's just you know, it's just finance things changing. Nothing that doesn't matter. Look how that turned out, right? That never happens. Companies do not buy other companies for it to just stay exactly the same. It just does not work that way on a fundamental level. And it's crazy to me how many people like on fucking Reddit, you know, just like, oh yeah, the devs are the same, so nothing changes. Like that's how the game industry works. Like the one lead dev is the only thing that affects how a game is made. Like their boss doesn't matter apparently. Do you think they're going in the right direction so far? It's kind of hard to say because they haven't done that much. Like, a lot of people are saying, oh, it's looking good because they, you know, made those updates with like the pure prisms and stuff. But even those updates weren't done very well in my opinion. Yes, they're updates that are made the game better. But like, if you look at all the recent updates, like the stupid craft essence that boosts Void Dust drop rate. That is just the wonkiest, dumbest thing ever. Why didn't you just boost the drop rate of Void Dust? Why did you add a craft essence that boosts the drop rate of Void Dust? Because presumably they're going to add another craft essence and another craft essence and another craft essence and another craft essence for all the other mats. And it's just inventory hell and memorization hell. And like, why? Why not just boost the drop rates, right? It's kind of just... They're doing things that the game needs, but they're doing it in the wrong way. That's kind of how I see it. Is there any reason to cooldown reduction on anybody here? Not really. Like, they're making changes that are almost necessary to keep the game alive, but they're doing them in half-assed ways. Like the safety net, right? I'm glad the safety net's there. The game is clearly better with the safety net than without, but it's not like that was the best implementation of a safety net by any means, right? It's actually kind of shitty. Wow, we had all those attack ups, but we only did 35k. I'm gonna credit that to the whole CE not having an offensive effect and the CE not having an attack stat and not having any foe items and blah 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 blah. Alright, well, if you can't NP, might as well do all this nonsense. I just saw a level 100 comma at 111 with sure hit CE. Well, what are you gonna do? I'd imagine they're a lower level and like they started playing the game and just got comma or starter account or whatever, and then they just grailed her immediately from playing through the main story. That would explain that. Although I have seen people that are like level 150 and crap, and almost all their servants are 111. And like, what's crazy about that? It's one thing to not like to be a casual and just kind of play the game here and there and have fun with the story and, you know, play it some, don't play it for a month and come back and all that. That's fine, right? A lot of people, I know a lot of people play the game that way. They don't like farm much. You don't worry about that stuff. But if that's the case, you can still 666 all your servants super easy. The only thing you can't really do is 10-10-10 because you're not going to have enough gold gems for like... The thing is, you will have enough gold gems to 10-10-10 a couple of characters. Kind of just playing the game naturally like that. Not a lot, right? Well, you could 10-10 a few, right? Or at least 999, right? A few. Because the game does give you some gold gems kind of naturally from time to time. But yeah, you can so easily like 4-4-4 your servants even if you don't do anything, like at all. You don't have to do a single farming stage, and you could get 4-4-4. But so when you like rare time you see that guy that's like level 155 or 145 or whatever, and like almost everything's 1-1-1. They're literally just too lazy to go into the menu and upgrade their skills. Like most of those servants, they probably do have the mats for them. Well, we're double slept, and we got all these crits, but, oh well. More sleep. And then she gets 2 buster cards. If I had known it was this stage, I would have bought some actual single target stuff. Guess we just take that buster chain. Use the buster up too. Come on, get the buster up from that Lancer or Ruler Artoria card. Come on. Arno. That'd have been so much more damage with the buster up, because it actually applies to the first card as well. It applies before damage, even though it shows it after. Pretty bizarre, but it is what it is. There's a 10-10-10 level 100 Coup Alter. Well, I guess he just likes Coup Alter more than... Can red hair get the W? If he double crits, maybe, but even then, yeah, I don't think it would have worked, even if he did crit. I got one. Yeah, we would not have gotten 16k out of that Buster crit. We would have gotten like 5k. Because he did have crit damage up. This is painful though. This is such a joke boss. This is such a bad game. And we're winning anyway. 313! Don't do it. Don't you do it. No, you did it. That wouldn't have happened if he didn't hit Spartacus as his very first action. If he hit someone else, then he wouldn't have been able to do it. Like if he hit red hair, he'd have to then switch to Spartacus, Guts goes off, then he has to switch and hits the other one, and now he's out of action, so he can't switch back to hit Spartacus. That's like the worst thing, is when you have someone with Guts and they get attacked as the very first action on the turn. If they get hit as the second action on the turn, like maybe the boss casts the skill first, then it doesn't matter, because then they cast the skill, attack, Guts goes off, you have to switch to someone else, and then they're out of actions again. I kind of wish if you had Guts and it procced, you just couldn't be attacked again on that turn. Like the AI just would not attack you again on that turn, unless it's AoE, right? If it's like a AoE normal attack, then they can. Guts doesn't always feel bad in a team setting, it's just, it's inconsistent, right? It's still better than nothing. You're still happy to have it opposed to nothing at all. And if you get lucky, it can be extremely good. And it generally will buy you an extra turn. Also, sometimes it's your only option because of Pierce and vulnerability and that kind of thing. So it's not like it's bad in a team setting, but it's just not as consistent as one might hope. But yeah, FGO does have some annoying, like, needless RNG, right? There's some RNG that's just inherent to a turn-based game, and even any game, right? Like, even like Dark Souls or Ninja Gaiden or Devil May Cry, you know, there's a lot of times it's random. Like, the AI will, like, have certain moves you can use depending on, like, where you are, like, if you're behind them, next to them, or in front of them. But it's not just, like, the one move. It's, like, an option select, right? They have various things they can pick. And sometimes, like, with speedrunners, they'll get really annoyed because, like, they'll do the thing that's statistically most likely to get the boss to do what they want, and the boss will just keep picking the move that is, like, the bad one that will slow them down, and the boss will just keep picking it over and over and over again, because it's just RNG, right? Like, there's RNG everywhere in video games. There's just nothing you can do about it. You can lower it and that kind of thing. And also in a lot of, like, Dark Souls games or Ninja Gaiden or whatever, you know, Devil May Cry, even if the enemy picks a move that's literally the worst move they could have picked for you, you can still dodge it or block it or parry it or whatever. It's not like you can't. It might just result in things going less smoothly than you would want. Or it's a move that's harder to dodge or block, you might mess up and get hit. So RNG can still affect things, but it affects FGO a lot more than it needs to. Like, obviously the deck shuffling, you can't control a lot. The crits, you can't control a lot. But there's a lot of needless bits of RNG. And I stand by this so firmly. I think FGO should allow you to shuffle the deck one time per game. And that if you bring the Shuffle Mystic code, then you get to shuffle twice. Or potentially 3 times, depending on cooldown stuff, whether coming back. But I think being able to shuffle the deck one time would be really reasonable, because that would prevent a lot of the just outrageous, like, bad RNG that happens every once in a while, right? Like, if you're doing a solo and you got your taunt walls, and on that first turn, you know, your taunt wall takes every single card, right? You can just stop that. And I know you all have had this happen in a challenge quest or something. I know, like, almost everyone in chat will have had this happen to them at least once. You're on, like, that nail biter finish, right, with the boss. You're fighting a boss in the main story or a challenge quest, and you just need, like, a little bit of normal card damage and you'll win. And then you just get that stupid fucking hand where, like, your one damage dealer doesn't get a single card, or no one got a buster card, or, you know, just, you know, you don't need a lot. You're not asking, like, for some crazy miracle RNG. You just need, like, basic bitch, you know, solid, you know, normal card damage, and you just get the worst fucking hand possible, and you just can't even get, like, one buster card and win. And you lose because of it, right? So I think being able to shuffle the deck 1 time per game would be pretty reasonable. That way, if you come down like, I just gotta get an art card on this unit that has 3 fucking art cards, and you somehow don't get an art card, you can shuffle the deck. You're probably gonna get the art card there, and there you go. And again, with soloing, you taunt wall stuff, you can cut that out. It would just remove, I don't think it's OP at all. I don't think there's anything OP about being able to shuffle the deck once per game, right? It adds consistency. It means you have to get unlucky twice for, you know, for all of these things to like not work out. And like a lot of times you have people doing like meta setups with like doing double Castoria, and they just need to get that 1 art card on the DPS unit, and that's fine. If they want to, you give them a deck shuffle, so they're more likely to get that 1 art card. I don't think that's a bad thing. It just means you don't have to reset the fucking game so much. Like, I don't see any negative to, every time I've seen people bring this up, people say they don't want it because it would nerf the Hogwarts Mystic Code. First off, no one uses the Hogwarts Mystic Code because it's not good enough. So who gives a shit? Like, literally, who gives a shit? No one uses that thing. And anytime someone does use that thing, they're just using it for the 20% battery, right? And you're going to use it for that with or without the shuffle thing. And having 2 shuffles is better than 1. If anything, I think the Hogwarts Mystic Code is better if you have a 1 shuffle once per game thing, because having 2 shuffles is awesome, because now you can really, you know, laser in on that 1 card you need. If you just gotta get that Buster Crit, or you gotta get that art card, you gotta get that art chain, or whatever, having 2 shuffles to work with, you're really shoring up on getting the consistency there. Like, I really wish they would, like, push towards more consistency. And the goal is consistency, not more peak value. Because that's the thing. Being able to shuffle the deck 1 time does not increase your peak value. Because you could have gotten, like, a lucky Castor Toria thing where you got both art cards on the perfect hand anyway. It can happen anyway, right? You could happen to crit. You could happen to get the Buster Chain when you needed it. All those things can happen with just good luck. Where when you can shuffle 1 time or once every 15 turns or whatever the hell you're going to do, that just lowers the amount of resetting you have to do, or lowers the amount of frustration. It's more consistent, and that's what I wish they would do. Don't try to increase the player's peak value, really, but try to increase consistency so things work, right? If this unit needs to do a Buster Chain to really like get their gameplay snapping, then make it easier for them to do that, right? So more ways to give people consistency, I think, is very, very good for the game. And I think it would make the game a lot more fun. I think it really would. One of the most frustrating things I find with FGO, especially when you're doing stuff that's really tough, right? So for example, let's say you're fighting Fluffy, you know, Big Bad Fluffy in Lostbelt 6. Really hard boss. If you're using a team that is just ridiculously good, and your goal is not to 3-turn, your goal is just to win, and you bring an incredibly good team, even if you get unlucky, you'll probably still win, right? Even though you can have some terrible RNG, get the deck shuffles at the worst times. If you brought like just a ludicrously strong team, you'll probably win anyway. And that's true for a lot of challenging quests and stuff. But a lot of people aren't going to have teams that are so strong that they can necessarily weather some bad RNG. And I have seen this, and I've seen Ace of Hearts, who does a lot of low star stuff as well, have the same complaint. A lot of times when you're fighting these bosses and you're trying to do them with budget setups or new player friendly setups or what have you, they're doable, but it's just so inconsistent that it's just fucking annoying, right? You can figure it out on a fundamental level. You know exactly what to click when. You know if X happens, you need to do Y, or if Y happens, then you need to do something else. Like I've had a lot of boss fights where I really figure it out like that, where it's like, okay, if the boss does this, or he kills this unit first, I need to go this route. But if they kill that person first, I need to go the other route. And things like that. You get it figured out like you're going with complete science, and then it's just dice rolling. Because there's literally not enough value amongst like a budget-friendly setup. It's not possible to do without dice rolling. And I know this for a fact because I've watched a lot of the budget setups like other people do. There's a lot of hardcore people out there that do crazy budget setups and stuff. But I know for a fact that those setups are inconsistent as fuck. Some of the most air quotes like impressive videos out there for like boss kills and stuff with budget setups are ludicrously inconsistent, right? And it's because it's physically impossible to do those boss fights with those budget friendly of teams and for it to be consistent. It's not possible, right? And it doesn't need to be like that, right? With some pretty subtle you know, elegant changes to the game, I think you could cut out a lot of the obnoxious RNG. I think the shuffle would go a long fucking way. A lot of setups need turn ones to go really well to get like the ball rolling, to like get that NP immediately to start filling the refill second NP as fast as possible. Even if you don't get an art crit or you get the perfect deck shuffle, you just need to get that NP immediately, right? You had like that Demeter fight we were doing earlier with Ushi, right? How she needed to get the NP on turn 2 and not on turn 3. Stuff like that can be very fundamental to making a budget setup work. And if you just had one deck shuffle, you could cut down on those the bad runs dramatically. Like, I mean, dramatically you could cut down on them. And I think it would be a huge like benefit to the game. I think I personally would enjoy the game a hell of a lot more if they just added a fucking shuffle feature like that. All right, we'll use Medusa. We were talking about her earlier. I don't know what this fight is, and I'm sure it's not as hard as Dogjuna. You know, actually, we might be coming up in barrel, for God's sakes. I think the first time you fight him, though, you can't beat him, at least off memory. I know you fight him like 3 times or something like that. All right, we'll go Golden Sumo because it's great. And chat, you wouldn't want to be giving units that you like and you're going to use on a stream or in a video, you know, for the big boss fight. You wouldn't want to give them a CE that wasn't great, right? You wouldn't want to do that. So obviously we go with Golden Sumo because you gotta, you know, do the good shit. Okay, I don't think this is barrel. I don't know what the hell it is, but guess we'll just throw a bunch of riders at it, see what their synergy is like together. Get Herc Bond, Q Bond. Anybody gonna go normal card damage? Let's go Ushi with normal card damage. Chat, you wouldn't shame your servants like that by not giving them a great CE like Golden Sumo. I know you all wouldn't do that. You know, for those of you that got your favorite, you know, unit and you want to make sure they have good general use, you obviously give them a good craft essence like Golden Sumo. I will hack your account and burn all your sumos. Feels bad. Why are we in a Western bar? You've even got like the door there. Like, obviously you could repurpose this background as just like, you know, a fantasy bar or whatever, but it's got the like saloon doors there. Easy stun. I really need to get her passive maxed out because the combination of her passive with her third skill is a lot of easy NPing with Medusa, which is nice. She's already good for farming anyway, so. I tell you, a nice combo is like if you got that 4 Hot Men CE from back in the day, and then you've got Medusa's passive and her third skill. She can turn 1 NP with no help from anyone else, and she's wearing a craft essence that gives her quick up, so you're getting damage too. Let's see if Medusa can break. And then NP next turn. Give her Ricky's attack up. That should do it. Triple attack up. I think in 75k is a decent amount though. Could give her the other attack up, but I kind of want to save it. If she crits once, I think we definitely got it. Yep, we got it. Okay. I think we would have been just shy if we had not crit there. Most of the extra attack went into overkill, but I don't think so much of it went into overkill that we would have broke without the crit. This is so good for Medusa. I didn't even know, but this is perfect. She just bruised her down the first bar. You get that 2 turns out of monster strength, and then we get to AoE here. It's like I planned it, but I didn't. Ivan's a really good rider right there. MHX-A is pretty good for universal stuff, and Splash Tori is really good. You still need, though, like those golds are not so good that you can, you still need to level up your fundamental stuff, right? You're still gonna want, you know, good backup units, for a lot of those classes anyway, and you're still going to want like George and David and Mash, right? You're still going to want that stuff. But those things are really good, and like if you fight Demeter with Ivan, you're gonna win, right? Ivan's great there. Yeah, there are times where you get certain gold units where you don't need the low star staples anymore, right? You can get key gold units that can just completely replace the low star staples, but most of those aren't those things, right? You're still gonna want a lot of those low star staples to complement them, right? Like to go with the strong. No, even Caster Artoria does not replace a lot of the staples because she doesn't do anything. Like, okay, if you have Caster Artoria, here's a staple she does replace. You don't really need Mozart. Now, you could still level Mozart because you have Caster Artoria and Mozart, and then with an art DPS, like that's still no joke. But like, there's no world where like, because you have Caster Artoria, you don't want a taunt like George, right? That doesn't affect that. You're still gonna want a Lancer DPS, right? So maybe a Ku or something. You're still gonna want a Rider DPS like Ushi. Like Castoria is super good, but she's not so universal. I would say one of the units that probably cuts down on the amount of staples, like low star staples you need the most, is a ludicrously strong Berserker like Ku Alter or Herc or something. Especially if you get like NP2 Herc or NP3 Herc. Because that can fill in for DPS for so many situations. You're not going to need as many. You could easily get away with not having, you know, Ushi and Robin and that kind of stuff if you have a really good Berserker like that, or maybe even Avenger. And Akitu too. Akitu definitely cuts down a lot of staples you need. You're still going to want some, especially the Archer ones because of sabers, right? You're still going to want those. But yeah, there are some key units that can cut down. But there's no one unit that you could get that would eliminate all staples, right? Low star staples, you'd have to get multiple. You'd have to get, you know, this thing and that thing and that thing. And even then you're still gonna have a few staples you're gonna wanna level because of team cost. I mean, the biggest Leviathans ever still use George and stuff in MASH and those kinds of things just because of team cost. So it's hard to get away from a lot of the staples, to be honest. I think the biggest staple for low stars right now is David. I don't know. It's David and Ku. Like, Cairo thinks it's Ku, and I do kind of agree with him in a lot of areas. Here's the thing. Ku, I think, is probably the best low star, but what he does is easier to replace with golds, right? Like, you're more likely to get gold units that can fill that role, or roles, because honestly, Ku fills a few roles. David, I don't think it's quite as good these days as Ku. No, David's fucking amazing, but he's not quite as good for Ku for like carrying your ass. But what he does is harder to replace with golds. Now you can, you know, you got Merlin and things like that. And you might have Merlin, Tristan, and Castoria, right? If you have Merlin, Tristan, and Castoria, you probably don't have to have David as much. Still not bad to have him, to be honest. Because you could be fighting a Saber boss and you Tristan and David, and that's really good. But your need for David would go down dramatically at that point. So yeah, that's kind of, I think, how I feel about it. Overall, if you're going to do pure 1 to 3 stars, Ku's the most impactful one out of all of them. There's just so many fights that he'll help you with. There's so many situations he'll help you with. Last man standing, Archer killing, Berserker killing, Fluffy killing, so much use. But it's definitely possible that you're going to get gold units that can do the same thing, right? Can fill that role for you. Where with David, it's kind of unlikely that you're going to get a gold that does what fills the roles that he fills, because there's not that many, and a lot of them are limited. Now it can happen, right? Like especially Tristan these days, because Tristan's now got the upgraded NP, the debuff clear, the buff removal, you know, there's so much stuff there in one place. But David's still good, like because David is still tankier than Tristan. That's just a fact. David is still tankier than Tristan. David still gives the team more NP gain than Tristan. David still has the anti-giant niche and all that kind of stuff. Also, you can use Tristan and David together, and that's really, really good. Sif doesn't really replace David at all. They're ultimately, even though she's got the evade thing, they're just still way too different from each other for it to matter. Like David, a big part of what makes David good is not just that it gives the team evade. That's obviously great, but it's him giving you a triple art deck to help other people get their NPs. It's David also not dying in 2 seconds because he's got the evade, he's got the heal, he's got the other heal, and he's got the giant fucking defense up, so he can live long enough to make sure he casts the evade when you need it. And he's got the charisma, he's got the, you know, the anti-giant, right? There's just a lot of stuff that David does that Sith is just not even in the ballpark of. Now, Sith does a bunch of other stuff that's really, really good, but it's apples and oranges, right? Like, Sith is super good in one direction, and David is good in another direction. And then ultimately, you just want to have both. Like, if your first archer you got in an account was Sith, I would still absolutely level David, because now you can fight Saber bosses and Berserker bosses and stuff with Sith and David, and that's just amazing, because now you've got 2 evades for the team, and then David gives you the charisma for Sith and all these other things. Like, that's awesome, right? So yeah, David is pretty hard to replace. I would say for an account to absolutely not need David, you don't need this exact thing, but some combination of just really any strong archer, and then like survivability stuff, be it Merlin, Castoria, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, definitely Tristan. I think Tristan is definitely something that would lower your need for David. If you've got like Tristan and Castoria, or Tristan and Merlin, or whatever, you could definitely get away with not leveling David. I probably still would. I always like to have at least one budget unit for every class leveled, because you might have a boss fight where you just can't keep your DPS alive. You need a backup one. So I always like to have a backup one, and because of team cost stuff. So there's almost no account where I just wouldn't level David. It'd be very hard for me to not level David, even if I was not wanting to do budget stuff. If I was playing an account and I was trying to like power game, it's still decently likely that I would level David, unless I was a Leviathan, right? Because I'm always free to play, and because of that, it just super boosts the need for low stars. But if you're a Leviathan and you're getting every goddamn gold ever, then you could probably not bother, and you might not even have the embers and skill gems for them. Yeah, I won't level David on the Garbo account because I can't, but you know, that's different. Zaw, say, are you still here? But yeah, Zaw, I got Samsoned earlier. It's the second time ever. It says it happened 2 times now. Bullshit, but you know, it is what it is. I didn't have enough meat shields in chat. That's clearly the problem. Yeah, this song's really good. Great soundtrack. The whole soundtrack's really good. I mean, actually, there's a few songs on it I'm not crazy about, but most of the soundtrack's really good. You know, we've been using Billy quite a few times, so we'll mix it up and use Calamity Jane. Apparently, we only get 3 units. I wonder if we can do a Mozart thing. This could be interesting. Is this the one where you fight Shadow Arthur, who like they're using as a guardian to protect Mash or whatever? It might be that stage. I don't remember being limited to 3 units, but no, that's way later. That's got to be later. That's like when you're up north more. Oh, right. This fight. Yeah, this is like, not a fight to the death, if I remember correctly. It's kind of just play fighting, if you will. Gonna murder her anyway. Let's see. I don't have Mozart's buff. I really need to fix that. An art chain. I almost want to do the art up because we have the 2 art cards. I mean, none of our NPs are art, so why not? Do this. Guess we just Brave Chain. The song's got a bunch of dead air after it. Oh, do you mean like the show Arcane or whatever? I haven't seen it. And I don't even know that much about it, to be honest. I've just heard people saying it's good, but I At one point when I heard about it after it was already over, by the way. I'm really in the know for these things. But when I heard about it and people saying it was good, I was like, yeah, maybe I'll watch that, why not? And I just never did. And I kind of forgot about it until you just mentioned it right now. Alright, could just Tristan go Burr here. Actually, this is a really weird use of Calamity Jane's third skill, but we're gonna do that. Look at all those buffs. Look at her. She does 3 turn pierce invulnerability, evade, star absorb, crit up, 20% battery. It's all in one skill. It's just you need the stars to do it. Her skill's really good though, even if you just have 30 or 40 stars. The 50 stars is kind of hard to do. I wish you would have her NP make like 5 stars. Like literally just 5 stars. Like not enough to carry her third skill at all, but it helps her like quick chain a bit. Just a little bit of extra so our NP drain was pointless because the boss just quick charged. Boy, that's not like trial and error or anything there, game. If I had known that, I could have just Tristan second skill. Of course you do that. Of course you do that. That's ridiculous, by the way. Boss quick charges, no way to know that. Didn't have the AoE evade up. Tristan takes loads of damage, and then she does nothing but attack Tristan. Like, the odds of that are just so low, dude. Well, might as well try to keep him alive. Yeet her 3k health buff. That'll make a difference. In case she quick charges again. Oh, she's not a servant, of course. Honestly, I don't blame anyone for safe scumming when they do quick charge. It's just such a stupid trial and error gimmick. Like, I don't like it at all. The reason they do it is because a lot of people have teams that are just so strong that even if they get NP'd randomly, they'll still have enough value to win. But if you get more budgety or solo or whatever, it can just completely screw you over. Kind of sad. We could have fought several more health bars. Calamity Jane still had quite a bit of value there. We're not too far off from the Morgan fight. We still gotta fight Sith again, and Beryl, and what's her name? Lolly Dragon in the city and stuff when you're going to Camelot. We still gotta, oh, it's not gonna happen today, I don't think, but we're not that far off from the fight. Calamity Jane is pretty, like, fun gameplay-wise, honestly, and she's pretty unique, but she's not, like, some super crazy powerhouse unit. You don't have to use her, but she is fun, and if you like the character, then it's certainly interesting gameplay. I don't mind the character, and I like the gameplay a lot, I just don't like her design. Especially the gun. Most people focus on the rainbow nonsense, which I'm not super happy about, but the gun is just so stupid. Fucking foam finger. Shooting rainbows. Probably blobs. I don't know about the assassin though. I don't think we're that far off from getting the Castraku buff. That's around when you save MASH. Figure Castraku makes sense though. Berserker's Assassin. If they're blobs, they have debuffs. Although, you know what? Straight up, Castraku is worse against debuffs now than he used to be. unless he's working with teammates that can make up for the whole health drain thing. Because you used to be able to just casually throw out your third skill to remove debuffs, and because the cooldown was pretty short, you could do it early and do it again, you know, several turns later, and you can kind of just keep a nice steady anti-debuff thing going. You can't do that anymore because you'll kill yourself. So that does suck. I really wish they hadn't done that. I wish when you clicked his third skill, a little option popped up like it does for Emiya, and you could click a thing to just do the debuff clear, or click a thing to do the debuff clear and the sacrifice. That's not even hard to do, and I think those kind of choices would be awesome for the game, because again, more consistency, more player agency, more abilities to make mistakes, more abilities to make the correct choice, those kinds of things makes the game more fun. Yeah, same thing for Artoria. She should have been an option as well. Because I've already had that happen. I've messed around with Artoria on my ult account, and I've already had times where I need the extra oomph, right? I need the extra damage, so I need to do the skill, but then I don't need to do buster cards, and I'd like to get refund or Stargen or whatever, and I can't, and it sucks. Like, that doesn't happen super often. I think Castraku's is a bigger issue. I think Castraku runs into situations almost any time you fight a stage with debuffs. Castraku runs into this problem, where Artoria needs it needs to be where she needs the damage up, but not so much damage up that she doesn't need the buster cards anymore, and then she has to have the art cards or the quick card, right? So it's a little bit more, it's rarer for Artoria to run into issues, but it does happen. It absolutely happens, where Castraku, I think it happens like all the damn time. It doesn't affect Castraku in farming though, because if you're going to use him to like double NP or whatever, the stage isn't going to be there long enough for it to be a problem. Might bring Asclepius just to help with the fact I can't use Castraku's third skill easily. I really wish I had the Sakura scope, but they got rid of it. I was 2 away! I was 2 away, and then they deleted it. I'm just so fucking mad about that. It's still 60%. But at that point, I'd rather just have the extra damage, I think. I need to get his passive. Wait, I wonder if I can get his passive. Oh no, I must have rolled for his copies before the coin system, so I can't get his battery passive. That fucking sucks. Maybe I should bring Atlas, but I kind of want the damage option. I don't think they should let Artoria pick the color of her cards. It's too good, and that doesn't make any sense either. And like a lot of units have writing and they don't have much in the way of quick cards, and that's fine. It's more of a flavor thing. Not supposed to be some big deal. It doesn't matter if Ilioscope's better. Why do I have to talk about this every stream? It doesn't matter. Like I can't believe people always say this. What do you think's better, chat? 1 chocolate bar or 2 chocolate bars, right? What do you think's better in the gacha? Two chances to get something really useful, or 1 chance to get something really useful, right? They're not mutually exclusive. If you've got the new starting in P1 and the old one, you now just have significantly higher chances of getting high starting in P. That's why having K-scope and Cope scope in the gacha is good, because now you have significantly higher odds of getting something with 80% starting in P. And you have a lot of units like Leonidas and stuff that don't want a full attack stat, right? Like a lot of units that want starting in P that you might give something like Sakura scope to, especially because of the lower team cost, are actually better off with the health. I'd actually say most units, like if you're really new to the, like early in the game, you don't have a lot of units yet, you're probably going to give Sakura scope or Ilya scope, you're probably going to give them to your DPS. But later in the game, you're not going to do that, right? You're going to give them things like aerial drive or K-scope or whatever. And you're going to give the Sakura scope and things like that to your supports. Like I almost always give it to a support now. Like it's going to be Asclepius, especially now that he's got the passive, so he doesn't need K-Scope to turn 1 NP, so you might as well save team cost and give him Sakura Scope or whatever. And yeah, wow, great. Asclepius has full attack stat now. Oh, I'm so happy. He's gonna go DPS the boss down, right? So, like, I think Ilioscope is actually worse because you're honestly not gonna use it on DPS very much in the long run. And then even regardless of that, even if it just had higher stats, I would rather have both of them in the gacha. And even more than that, significantly more than that, you have situations like this account is in where it already got Sakura Scope almost limit broken. You know, I'm sitting here working my way to limit breaking Sakura Scope. Right before I get it, the game just slaps me in the face and just removes Sakura Scope from the gacha. If I obtain Ilioscope now, I can't use that with my Sakura Scope to contribute to the limit break, right? So, and it's annoying because with K-Scope and Cope Scope, they didn't do this, right? They just put both in because it's way better to have both, obviously, and they knew they'd piss people off if they did it the other way. But every fucking time I bring this up, someone's like, oh, but Ilioscope's better. Like, that's even relevant. Like, the amount that it's better is like, if it's even better, in my opinion, it's worse, but even if it is better, it's better by such a tiny fraction. It's like by 0.5%, like it's gonna make no difference in any practical setting ever. So who cares? Like, why even bring it up? It means nothing. The difference between Sakura Scope and Ilioscope is so tiny, it's irrelevant. What is actually relevant is all those other things I just mentioned about like having already almost limit broke it, but then it's gone, and you know, having 2 of them in instead of just 1. You know, those things are actually relevant and meaningful, and it affects the game. Ilioscope having attack stat versus split stat doesn't affect fucking shit, right? That affects things like, you know, people are like bleeding it over from, you know, things like Golden Sumo versus the Sakura CCC CE, right? That stuff is where it matters because those are CEs that are going to be on DPS, and it's enough of an attack stat to be really relevant, and it has an offensive effect on it. You know, like with the Sakura CE from the CCC event, you're never going to give that to a support, right? Like, Sakura Scope is overwhelmingly going to a support unless you're a new account. It's only going to DPS on a new account, but it's always going to a support. But Sakura's CE, why would you ever give that to a support? It gives you quick up. Yeah, Han's gonna go fuck up those enemies with his damaging quick NP, right? Like, if a CE has pure offensive stats on it, in terms of the effect, obviously it's gonna go on a DPS. And then so giving it full health is really stupid, right? And that's not good at all, and it's very noticeable, because a CE that gives you 0 attack will make your NP do a lot less damage, right? Like, noticeably so. But if it's on a support, that just doesn't matter. So it's like, it's just not relevant. The whole Sakura Scope, Ilioscope stat split thing just is so irrelevant. People try to make a big deal out of it, like that's the thing that matters, when it doesn't mean shit. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, it's a fucking CE with no side effect, right? It's only for the starting NP. So it's gonna have a pretty negligible effect on your DPS anyway, and it's not a CE that should be going on a DPS to begin with. The only DPS that it might go on sometimes, and there it will, is like Arash and Spartacus, right? Because you might want to save team cost, right? So even if you're a veteran account and you've been playing for years, you may want to save team cost, especially with their passives now, right? They got the passives to have more starting NP, and if you rank up their batteries, they don't need K-Scope, right? They don't need K-Scope to NP. So you might as well give them the lower starting NP with the lower team cost, and the stage might be easier, so you don't need like the higher stats of K-Scope and all that. And so for them, occasionally you might have a situation where not having attack stat or not having full attack stat could matter, but that's still unbelievably irrelevant. All right, what are we doing here? Oh, it's a Roshan P. Yeah. It probably will do 60k. We'll do that. He did 63. So actually, I should have done Art Buster. It would have been more NP gain than Buster Art. I'd probably be at like a 58. Pretty minor. I think 90k. I think I'm gonna double NP here. Oh fuck, Spartacus can't NP. It's because his second skill's not maxed on this account. Damn. Even then, I think I might have done it wrong. I'm not sure you'd have enough. You need his passive, I think. Yeah, he'd be at 95 if it was maxed. Well, shit. Hopefully this doesn't get Ku killed. You know, you two are being pretty condescending and annoying right now. It's always surprises me when people act this way and they come into my chat and just act like a condescending prick, like that's gonna go over well. No NP gain here. Man, this is actually kind of bad because I'm going to kill my Ku with this third skill, or almost kill him, and then I don't have a lot in the back row to deal with the ending. 30k. That would have worked if I had Spartacus's NP. Fuck. Oh, fuck. I just messed up. I was looking at, like, Ku stuff, making sure I wasn't making a mistake, and I forgot to do the Buster up, and now, we're not gonna kill. I think that would have killed. Oh my god, so close, dude. Shit. Well, we got Asclepius for the debuff, so hopefully the last wave is nothing too serious. If it is, we actually might be in trouble. Although I think I have Herc in the back, so how bad can it be? Well, that's a little bad, to be honest, but I think we're still fine. If they're ever gonna throw a trash mob at you, that's a problem. It's definitely this one. Yeah. Don't. Yeah, no, that's not what I was like, don't crit and we'll be fine. Once Proto Ku would be good. I think we're still okay though. As long as he doesn't buff block. Faster Ku, I think. Yeah, honestly, Lancer Ku at 80 really is more effective pound for pound in the long run against an assassin. Unless it's AoE, then Caster Ku is still better. Okay, we get our NP next turn. I wonder what happens if you get buff blocked but you've already got the sacrifice up or something like that. It'd be hard to accomplish, but because then I think your guts would fail and you would just kill yourself. I'm pretty sure that's what would happen. like if you had the sacrifice thing, because the sacrifice effect itself can't be blocked, right? It's already on you, and like that it won't block. It doesn't work that way. It's kind of like how NP Drain doesn't get blocked. Yeah, that could probably happen. I bet you if you cast the third skill, then you got buff blocked, I think Ku would kill himself. That would be so stupid, but I might have to play with that at some point. Yeah, we could technically test it here, but it's not worth the AP. We'd have to find like a boss that is like a challenge quest, you know, doesn't cost a lot of AP. Because a lot of enemies only buff block one person instead of the whole team, and it'd have to be caster Ku, it'd have to be on the turn. Like there's all kinds of variables, so it'd be easier if you found a boss that like, oh, you break his bar and then he buff blocks everyone, right? That's better. Like I think we just had a challenge quest like that though, the one with Gray and what's her name? I already forgot her name. But that one would, I think, work, 'cause I think she buff blocked you when you broke her health bar. Just do story replay, I wish. Alright, it's just Assassin now, so this should be simpler. Wonder if I still bring Spartacus, because I'm assuming there's trash. Let's do... Oh yeah, I completely forgot. This account has nursery crime. We should be using that like way more. I just totally forgot about that. Let's see. I don't really have a CE that's actually good for her. I guess that's okay, actually. Go Mozart. I kind of want to have Spartacus not use his gut so he can die and I can get Mozart, but I can't NP easily if I don't use guts. That's kind of a problem. Man, if the servers are down for 5 hours, I'm not sure I'm going to stay up for that one. We'll see. On the one hand, I'd like to. On the other hand, I also like sleeping. So... Okay, I remember this stage. This actually might be a wee bit of a problem. I don't think we're going to, like, lose, but we might actually have some deaths here. I guess Spartacus is gonna die pretty quick, so I can do the guts. All right. I wonder if I could actually kill with Nursery Rhyme here. If I use her skills. Kinda doubt it. Do the Brave Chain. This is where I wish we had like charisma on the team. It'd be a lot better, but play Dark Souls for 5 hours. Yeah, I can't stream that late though. I'm not like with it enough, because when you get tired, I can concentrate to play a game, but it takes more concentration to play the game and stream and commentate and everything, right? When it gets late, I can't handle all that. And their servers are down anyway, so... Well, that was lucky. I wish if I needed Proto Coup cards, I really don't, but if it was like a boss fight where we really needed his stuff, that'd have been so lucky right there. It'd be great value against like a big bad challenge quest boss or something. Let's see. This is kind of a tall order, but let's see if she can do this. I really doubt it. But let's find out here. This is, if I had Mozart's second skill at 10, I actually think this might work. Yeah, it might work anyway. 3 of a kind bonus might be enough. Yep, okay. That's kind of awesome. Yeah, their sound mixing in FGO is terrible. It's not just Castraku. Like, there's so many servants that just randomly have sound effects that are way too loud or too quiet. And the crits, like, crit sound effect is like a multiplier of the sound effect. It's like not handcrafted. So some of them just become outrageously loud when they crit. And some voice lines are even too loud and too quiet. It's a mess. Like, their sound mixing is not good. I wish I had Castraku set up a little bit better there, but this should still do pretty well. This actually went kind of smooth. Like, that second wave was quite nice, actually. Kind of liking this setup. I kind of wish the stage was harder now. And Sherlock's lasers. Joan of Arc's flag smacks are so loud, dude. And then Kojiro's sound effects are really loud, and he crits is just nonsense. And so I could have done Ku's first skill there, and then he'd be able to NP again. We'd start slowing down after that, though. Okay, I think I'm gonna take a break because I need to eat. I am super, super hungry. So I'm gonna take a break, and I think we're gonna do Dark Souls because I started my stream later today, and I don't have like as much time available to me as I normally would. And I said we would play Dark Souls today, and I definitely want to. So I'm gonna take like 10-minute break, get some food, and I think we'll come back with Dark Souls. Let me get 1 second here. I want to see where we're at in the story. We might be able to get to... Oh wait, I guess tomorrow it's gonna be Valentine's stuff. So Morgan's just gonna have to wait. Because I think you go up here, you get Ku's buff, you get Mash, and then I think you go to Camelot, and then that's the Morgan fight and stuff. Let's see, what chapter are we on? 18. There's 30 chapters total. At least 5 of them aren't, you know, fighting chapters. So we're pretty far in, actually. But yeah, thank you for hanging out. And yeah, tomorrow I guess Valentine's Day stuff. Let's see though. It might be. I'm not sure how it's all gonna work out. Just because, you know, Bazette's getting added. I might make a video. Blah blah blah. I can probably still stream at the normal time though. Probably earlier than I streamed today. Everything was kind of delayed here. But yeah, thank you for hanging out, everybody. I'll be back in like 10 minutes for the Dank Souls, and then tomorrow we'll do Valentine's. So take care, and I'll be back shortly.